Welcome back to LEGO Battlebots Battle of the Builders. The 5 bots competing in this episode are Cloud, Overlord, Standalone, Venom, and Xantic. Our first fight sees the vertical spinner of Overlord taking on the horizontal spinner of Cloud. Overlord, pretty powerful vertical spinner's weapon, is pretty comparable to Lunar New Year in design. But those forks are brick separators, which are definitely untested on this channel, very unique forks. So those forks are going to be quite questionable to see if they actually work or not. Meanwhile, for Cloud, it's an undercutter spinner, it's a pretty tanky chassis, but we know that style of weapon is not the most effective. But Overlord doesn't have an anti-horizontal configuration and also can't self-right. So it's going to be an interesting test for both of these bots. Let's see who wins this fight down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Well, oh, there goes Cloud's weapon. Cloud's weapon has just broken off, and Overlord landing a solid follow-up shot to flip Cloud over. Ooh, decent job, that vertical spinner. And they are sending Cloud flying. These are some nasty shots that Overlord is landing. Oh, and again, Overlord's forks certainly working, and that spinner is working as well as Cloud continues to fly. What a shot there, and that's gonna be it. Well, Overlord's forks, they definitely work. Cloud's weapon got ripped off in the very first hit, and Overlord went on the attack. I mean, these were some brutal shots with that spinner, and Cloud, not the heaviest, but also not an incredibly light bot, and Overlord was just tossing them out. Check out this hit. That has got to be one of the most brutal hits we've ever seen with a vertical spinner on this channel. Cloud going several inches into the air, and then Overlord just threw them out of the arena for a dominant win. Overlord taking a dominant win over Cloud to put itself on top of the heat early, but still got 3 bots left to face. Next fight, we will see Venom taking on Xantic. Did you know that Xantic essentially means yellowish? That's basically the entire Google definition. Anyways, Xantic, built by T-Chains, it's a pretty big overhead horizontal spinner. It's essentially, in this channel, an upgrade to Apex. You can see those wedges in the front, and it's a pretty powerful weapon, just like Apex, but also it should be a lot more durable. However, still can't self-right, much like Apex. Taking it on is Venom, a very durable hammer bot, originally designed by Red Feather, and Venom has, count 'em, 5 forks on the front. I believe that is more than any currently active bot on this channel. It's a pretty durable machine, but like most hammers, it lacks significant weapon power. But we've seen bots that's take home wins a lot, even if their weapons aren't powerful, as long as they're durable. I mean, look at Sawblaze, completely ran the table in Season 2. So will Xantic prove its weapon is that it is a much more better version of Apex, or will Venom outlast Xantic? Let's find out down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Xantic spins up, delivers a solid shot into Venom, but Venom pretty well built to handle these kind of attacks, and Venom actually able to get around to the back of Xantic there, get underneath without really having to worry about that weapon. Xantic's weapon might actually be a bit too high to hit the main body of Venom. They're probably just going to be hitting that weapon mount, and oh, there goes one of the front wedges of Xantic. That's going to make it even harder for them to be oriented properly, as Venom just continues to not really worry about that blade. Xantic is just not hitting Venom properly, and they flip themselves over. I said Xantic was very similar to Apex. Yes. Fun fact. Yes. And that looks like it's gonna be the fight. Venom hitting them with a hammer a couple times for good measure, but Xantic upside down, can't self-right, and that is going to be the fight.
Knockout.
Xantic just couldn't really hit Venom with that weapon properly. Either they just wouldn't hit Venom, or they would hit the weapon mount, and in that case, cause them to flip over and lose the fight. Venom goes to 1-0. Xantic joins Cloud at 0-1, while Venom joins Overlord at 1-0. Speaking of Overlord, we'll see it fight Standalone next. Standalone, a Season 1 veteran built by Chicken Strip Robotics. We last saw it in the Losers League, I believe go 3-2, so it did survive, obviously since it still exists, and will be in Season 4. And overall, it's apparently just been a paragon of mediocrity, as it currently sits at 8-8, which is about the most middle-of-the-road record you can get. It's a fairly durable machine being vertically built, but that ground game doesn't have cheese slope wedges. It's not great. Taking on Overlord built by Handheld Robotics, I forgot to say that their last fight, oh well. Well, Overlord proves that they have a very powerful weapon in their fight against Cloud, but can their forks hold up against more ground game focused bots? Remember, Cloud's wedge does not touch the ground, Standalone's does. If Overlord can get underneath, it could just be game over for Standalone, but if they can't, then this is Standalone's fight to lose. Let's see who takes this win down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Overlord's forks very easily slipping underneath Standalone's wedge, and there goes the wedge. Oh, that weapon showing some serious power once again. Ooh, nasty shot there from Overlord, sending Standalone flying, and into the air again they go. Oh my god, and that is it. Wow. Overlord really showing off its weapon power, and especially that ground in there. When they ripped off Standalone's wedge in 2 hits, we knew the fight was over. Overlord just ripped them apart and threw them out of the arena. Overlord rising to 2-0 and is already looking like a favorite to win this heat, as Standalone falls to 0-1. Next up, we will see the horizontal spinners of Cloud and Xanth collide. Well, Cloud was the first victim of Overlord of this heat, and the Steampunk 659 machine didn't really have much chance to prove anything besides that Overlord is good, at least for what we've seen now. It's got Xantic to go up against, who proved at least a decent, more stable, and definitely more durable than Apex in its fight against Venom, but stability issues still persist throughout the overall design. I mean, Cloud doesn't care if it's flipped, as we also saw, so that could be one advantage, but at least for Cloud, it doesn't have to worry about its wedge not touching the ground because it's taking on a horizontal spinner with a very high weapon. And so, will Xantic adjust to that, or will Cloud be able to take the win? Let's find out down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Cloud flipping around to use that wedge, and we're already seeing Xantic start to get destabilized by that wedge. Not a good start, and that's definitely even worse as Xantic flips over, and that looks like it's going to be the end of the fight. Cloud backing off, and that is going to be it indeed. Xantic turned over yet again, and Cloud moves up to 1-1. All Cloud really needed was that one big hit that flipped Xantic over in order to take the win. Xantic falls to 0-2 as Cloud rises up to 1-1. To round out the first half, we will see a Venom take on Standalone. Standalone probably not very favored to win this fight, as Venom, along with Overlord, has the best ground game in this heat. Those 5 forks are all pretty not used cheese slope wedges, so they're pretty low and fairly durable as well. I mean, they've taken basically no damage up to this point. And yeah, as we've seen Standalone time and time again get overmatched by these low cheese slope wedges, so they're gonna have to try and get around to the sides, maybe rip off that side armor. It's gonna be very difficult for Standalone, but they're a veteran, they could pull this off. Let's see what happens down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Venom easily slipping underneath Standalone and getting them into the screws early. However, this is kind of what I expected. Those cheese slope wedges very easily getting underneath Standalone. He loses one of the forks, but jams Standalone in the screws again, and they get him out of the arena. Well, as I said, basically what I predicted. Venom got underneath with those wedges pretty dang easily, and they got Standalone in the screws. When the second time they did that, when the screws reversed, they took Standalone out of the arena, giving Venom the win. So here are the standings at the end of the half. Overlord and Venom sit at 2-0, vying for first. Cloud is at 1-1, and Standalone and Xantic are at the bottom at 0-2. To kick off the second half, the 2-0 Overlord takes on the 0-2 Xantic Overlord, looking to clinch top 8 seed if they get a victory here. Xantic fighting for its very survival, and this is a pretty good matchup for Xantic, at least compared to their previous two fights. Overlord can't self-right and pretty top-heavy, and doesn't have an anti-horizontal configuration, so Xantic has the best chance to win out of the fights. Definitely this one, because that is still a very powerful weapon, and that Overlord might have to be worried about that. Or Overlord could just flip Xantic over and not worry about this fight at all, but we'll find out how that goes down in the arena. Let the battle begin. Both weapons spinning up, and Xantic landing a solid shot to start things off. Ooh, Overlord lands a nasty uppercut though. Oh, and Xantic follows right back up with another shot. Oh, and Overlord flips Xantic over. This could be the end of the fight, but Overlord nice enough to right them back. That's never a good thing to do. And there goes one of the wedges of Xantic again, going to stabilize him a bit more. Overlord deal. Oh, Xantic has flipped itself, and Overlord completely capitalizes. Well, we have Apex-like spinner being an Apex-like spinner again. Xantic nearly got flipped there, but survives, only to get immediately flipped afterwards, only for Overlord to right them, only to flip themselves over and have Overlord throw them out of the arena. Overlord rises to 3-0. Xantic will now have to beat Standalone if it wants any chance of making the postseason, but then they would also like for Cloud to defeat Standalone, which is very conveniently our next fight. Standalone has been mauled by what appear to be the top two bots of this heat. Overlord is definitely one of the top two bots, while Cloud has taken a win over the current worst bot and lost to the current best bot. So Standalone definitely trying to take this win over Cloud. Cloud, if they win this fight, they clinch a postseason spot, and Standalone would go 0-3, which would require them to beat Xantic in order to make the postseason. But Standalone is much better designed for this matchup. Cloud's wedge does not touch the ground, and Standalone is very well capable of taking on Cloud's relatively weak horizontal spinner. So let's go down to the arena if they see if they can do that. Let the battle begin. Cloud lands a shot that spinner on that wedge, and another one. Doing a good job keeping Standalone at bay for now. But there's Standalone getting right back underneath, putting them in the screws now, and Cloud has been inverted. Not a good start, but at least Cloud can drive upside down. And Standalone getting to the back again, now putting them on their side. Cloud does get away though for a little longer. And that weapon is still working, going strong. Now Standalone bullying them into the corner where they're trying to get underneath, and there's a good ram, and that could be it. That's a very good propping up there by Standalone, and that is gonna be the fight. The countdown is on. Cloud cannot get down from there, and this fight is over.
1, knockout.
Standalone performed pretty much as expected, taking the shot from that relatively weak horizontal spinner, and then throwing Cloud into the screws and just throwing them all around the arena until they eventually got them in the corner and put them in a position where they could not drive down. Standalone and Cloud are both now 1-2. Standalone with that win getting a little bit of cushioning, but it would love to defeat Xantic in their last fight in order to really secure their spot in the bracket. But now we move on to the battle for the #1 seed between Overlord and Venom. Venom and Overlord, definitely the top two bots we have seen in this heat. Venom, the immovable object, Overlord, the unstoppable force. This is going to be the ultimate test for Overlord's brick separator forks. Are they able to get underneath the Venom's forks? If so, then we're really going to see Venom's durability put to the ultimate test here. but if Venom gets underneath, we're gonna see that Overlord does not have a Self-Rider very quickly. Whoever wins this gets the #1 seed. And so this is an incredibly important fight. So let's go down to the arena to see how it goes down. Let the battle for a top 4 seed begin. Overlord easily slipping underneath Venom. That's not very good. There go 3 of the forks. Overlord really proving its ground game is superior in this one, and Venom already reeling and taking some massive shots already. They no longer have 2 forks. Their ground game is done, and Overlord is just gonna have its way with Venom now. Venom really gonna have to test that durability out as they take shot after shot, going absolutely flying. Overlord making Venom look like a complete joke now, and that is it. Well, we wondered if Overlord's brick separator forks would be able to get underneath the cheese slope meta wedges of Venom. Yes, they certainly can, quite easily in fact, and this was an absolute slaughter. Overlord laying absolutely brutal shots. They wasted no time in tearing those forks apart, and then that final blow to throw Venom out of the arena. I mean, just look at that. That is an absolutely absurd shot for a bot that is Venom's weight. What a win. Overlord shattering Venom and potentially proving itself a meta-breaking machine, joins Bad Revolution at 4-0 and getting a top 4 seed. Our next fight will see Xantic fight for its tournament life against the 1 and 2 Standalone. Xantic and Standalone both fighting to try and get tournament spots here. If Xantic wins and Cloud wins, then Xantic will be in over Standalone, due to them holding tiebreaker. If Xantic wins and Cloud loses to Venom, then all 3 bots would be in a 3-way tie, and I have no idea who would get in if that were the case. But if Xantic loses here, they're just straight up out, and it won't matter what the result of Cloud versus Venom is. So Xantic, they've proven to be very unstable. Standalone's going to absolutely try and exploit that. Xantic should probably, try to use those actual wedges that it has in order to get underneath and push Standalone around, because as we have seen, Standalone is very vulnerable to cheese slope wedges. Will they do that? Let's find out down in the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Xantic spins up and already rips a piece off of Standalone's wedge. Xantic off to a good start here as they are able to hit the top of Standalone where that front hinge flipper is. Standalone not used to being hit there so often. And there was one of the wedges of Xantic. Xantic just continues to land solid shots, and there goes the front hinge flipper of Standalone. Standalone cannot self-right. Xantic, come on, please, use your wedge. And they're flipped. They hang the wall. Oh, looks like Standalone's gonna risk their tournament life. Oh my god. This would be peak Apex if this was Apex.
10.
Standalone backing off now as Xantic has flipped itself for the 3rd time in 3 hits. And that is going to be the fight and the end of Xantic's career. Well, not career, it's this season. It's just the end of Xantic's run this competition. It will be in Season 4, along with all of the other bots from Battle of the Builders. So, might have to get some stability upgrades there, but they did decently well. They ripped off Standalone's flipper, but just wasn't enough. With Xantic eliminated, both Standalone and Cloud clinched their spots in the final bracket. But now to determine some seeding, we need one more fight between Venom and Cloud. Venom certainly has the durability advantage. I mean, it's a much tougher bot, and also the ground game advantage. Cloud's wedge doesn't touch the ground, Venom's forks do, but those forks on Venom are pretty vulnerable to an undercutter spinner like Cloud, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see if Cloud can rip off those forks. Then it could cause some major problems for Venom, and he maybe even get underneath Venom itself, but Venom is gonna definitely try to not let that happen, so let's see who can execute the game plan and get the higher seed down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. And Venom's forks do not care about Cloud's spinner. They are just deflecting them out without any problem. And now Cloud is in the screws. Venom going right back on the attack once they get down. And now they are pinning them again in an awkward position. Venom taking a quick and dominant win to round out the heat. Venom will be at 3-1, while Cloud will fall to 1-3.
2, 1, knockout.
Well, we thought Cloud could maybe rip off the forks of Venom, but yeah, that didn't happen. I think the forks were too close together in order for Cloud's weapon to get a proper bite. But anyways, Venom put them in the corner and then put them on their face to get the win. And these are the final standings for Heat C. Overlord dominant 4-0, definitely taking a top 4 seed. Venom 3-1, 5-8 seed. Standalone 2-2, 9-12 seed. And Cloud 1-3, 13-16 seed. As for Xantic, it's the second red and yellow big spinner to go completely winless and be eliminated in as many heats. See you next time for Heat C.